are using it. So we'll just dive in. So the first question, again, before we get into the specifics, is why do we want to prioritize our products, right? The reason being, we don't want to build something that users do not want. And at each step of the process, we should have a way to basically validate our hypotheses if what we are building is something that the users need. So there are two ways of building a car. Let's say the problem statement that the user has given is, how do you travel from place A to place B? So instead of going the route of the first picture that you build one wheel, you build another wheel, then basically there is no validation of what the users want until and unless you go to stage 4. But in the second case, at each step of the process, there is a way for you to validate your hypothesis. You can give one version to your users and see if it is serving their purpose of traveling from one place to another. So what you have to do is you have to identify your skateboard, which is the first version. If you're building a new product from scratch, you have to identify if this is something that your users want. And the only way to do it is, at each step of the process, you build and give something in the hands of the users for them to be able to test and use, right? So the example that I have taken for this session is Spotify, right? So for example, for Spotify, the main problem was that they wanted users to be able to stream music. Now they have, like, if you look at the first version of the product that they had built, it was very minimal. They did not go around getting high end prototypes designed first, and they're spending a lot of time developing those. What they did rather was they just built a basic prototype which solved the purpose of getting video, like getting music which is already on their laptops, and then you find a way to make the playback fast and stable. That was the whole technical and the problem that they were solving for, right? So instead of going and finding out artists and different players, first you have to build something and see if users actually use it, right? Now, for them, there was a metric that they optimized for. The metric that they optimized for was how many milliseconds would it take for a person to hear the music after they hit on play. So that is, whenever you are prioritizing, like I have talked about in the previous session as well, your goal has to be to have one metric or one business goal in mind that you are trying to achieve, and have all your features optimized for that use case. So what they did is they just built a very simple version where basic raw music from their laptops, a platform where that music can be uploaded and users are able to play that music without a lot of buffer or time delay between starting the music and the actual sound that they hear. So what they did, they built a skateboard and they put it in the hand of their real users. Now it was so raw that they could not have put it across a wide user base, or have a mega launch, but it served the whole purpose of validating their hypothesis of if a running prototype was possible technically, and how they could take that prototype to their investors and other music label companies, which is finally going to seed the music, the product with the music. uh, and that is how you validate and prioritize. You have to identify what exactly you want to prioritize and then optimize for that. So this is the example. So this is the raw version that they had when they first built, very minimal. This just a skateboard. Basically you have a couple of musics, and you basically are clicking on each of them and seeing if the music is playing or not. You don't have a high end version of the product that you see now. So your goal is to make this minimal version. It does not only has to be for a new product, even if you are building new features for existing products, you will have to understand what exactly is your skateboard, what exactly is your hypothesis, what is the success metric that you want to track out of that, and that is how you go about prioritizing. So this was the example of Spotify. Now I have looked into these different frameworks that we spoke about the other day, and what I have done is try to give you an idea of exactly how companies are using it in a specific business context. So RICE, which was reach, impact, confidence, and effort, this framework has been used extensively by Intercom, and what they try to do is rate your each of the features that you have on these four parameters. You have a score that you calculate at the end of it, and then you prioritize. So for example, log into app with Face ID, the reach they have calculated is 500, the impact is 2, the confidence and is 80, and the effort is 5. So again, based on these parameters, they have come up with these specific numbers. And now for like based on this final total number, the highest priority feature for them is budget warning, which they should prioritize first, right? Because now the second framework is something that is value versus effort framework. Again, we spoke about it uh, in the previous session. In this session, so basically what happens in value versus effort is you have your different features, like you have sending alerts when approaching budget limits. You're again putting a score on the value it has. So it has, you've given a very high value to it, which is 4, and then you have given like how much effort goes about in building it. So let's say it's a very low effort feature. Second one is budget warning. Basically, you're prompting user. The value is low and the effort is also low. So basically, like I'm just trying to give you an understanding. Now you have auto suggest transaction categories. The value is high, the effort is also very high. So again, based on different values and efforts, you're giving a score, and then based on the final score, you're going to prioritize which feature is going to be more important to you. I am going to talk about how do you assess value, and also about what exactly does this score mean. How are you going to calculate these scores, right? Because you just have value and an effort that you have estimated based on your understanding of the users. The third framework that I have taken out is weighted scoring, which is also one of the frameworks we talked about. And this is one of the screenshots from the prioritization plan of product plan. So now here you can see there are different titles, or this is at a very broad level. So again, like I told you last time, if you have 100 features, you cannot go about prioritizing 100 features in these ways, right? You can only prioritize all of those in these ways when you have formulate you can formulate your 100 features into 5 buckets. Like for example, these are buckets: shopping cart improvements. Within shopping cart improvements, you might have a specific 5 set of features, right? You want to give a notification when somebody adds something in the cart but has not bought that item, right? Or you might want to, again, it does not just have to be related to the end user products. It can also be your technical debt that you have been accumulating. For example, you might have the developers who are going to spend some time in doing code reviews, which are very critical, right? So it depends what is the, so you can give a weight to all of these different titles, right? You can give the weight in the form of which teams are more important, or which are the specific teams. You can also do this for marketing activities. If you're doing a product launch, you have to interact with the sales team, the marketing team. You're also interacting with your customer support team, for example. In that case, you might have different weights. Maybe a product has just launched, so a very high weight is going to be given to the customer support team, because a lot of bugs might be coming up and you need to be able to iterate very fast and solve those bugs. So it depends. Now in terms of benefit and cost, see, they have like very clearly highlighted the value, right? Some features are going to increase adoption. You have given increasing adoption a weight of 25, you have that as a higher weight benefit. Second is something which is giving you strategic value. Third is, let's say you have three benefits. Third is customer delight. So you don't care more about customer delight, you care more about increasing adoption. So that's how you have given weights like 25, 20, 10. You can decide the weight whichever way works out best for you. Second is cost. Cost is like you have development cost, you have operational cost, and you also have risk. Risk is something, it can have different forms, right? You can have risk in the form of security risks if it's a payment product, or so you can also optimize for the different forms of risks that are going in. Based on this, you are going to calculate a score, right? So see, like they have given different scores to all of these, and based on that they have calculated a score. I'm sure you understood how this score is being calculated. So you multiply each of these weights by the total weight you have, and then the score that you have given. So it is 25 divided by 145 into 5 plus 20 divided by 145 into 4, and so forth and so on. And then finally, based on the different scores that you have given rank. So the highest score here is 119, which is rank 1. So like they have sorted it in the form of the different scores that you have. So basically you don't have to look at the last rank or score. That is what you want to derive at. Your core goal is to see how is it helping your users, and second is to see how much is it going to cost you to build those features. Now the third example that I have is from AppQs. AppQs also has a very defined process. So like I told you, the first thing, the most important thing you have is defining your values. You cannot prioritize if you don't know what is of more value to you. If you think everything is high value, I mean, you have to go back. You can have different ways to think about it. If you're unable to think what is high value, try to break it down. Try to break it down into goals. You're trying to increase adoption. You're trying to increase retention. What are you trying to do? Like see, most of these things have like it all depends on how you are thinking, right? It's all about your thought process. So now, for example, here AppQs, how are they defining value? So one way they have defined value is feature value. So will churn if like customers are going to churn without this feature. So that means, second is customers are not going to buy without this feature. Third one is this feature is a nice to have, right? So again, if a customer is going to churn out without this feature, that is very critical to you. You don't want your customers to churn out because you paid some amount of money to acquire those users. That can be in any form, but you don't want your user experience to be bad. Second is you can define quantify on the basis of business value as well. Like for example, there are bugs, right, in a product. So you also have to prioritize features versus bugs.